Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is not so bright and early. It's about 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I find myself in an unusual position today, and I want to share my thoughts with you. Um, it's just shortly after I've just downloaded the last video. The last video I did was about a right-wing dating app, and it got me thinking, and I really want to share my thoughts with you guys. I just got back from a walk. I downloaded the video about 4 or 5 hours ago, and it got me thinking. I read some of your comments, and plus what was in the dating app, the promo for the dating app I talked about in the last video. There was like 5 or 6 conservative women, probably actresses, that saying they wanted a masculine man, not a Democrat. All right, so I started thinking, you know, what is masculine? And then I started thinking about myself. And all of a sudden it came to mind, well, what conservative guy? Who's the first conservative guy that would come to my mind? And Nick Fuentes. If you don't know, you should probably know him by now. I talk about him enough. I started thinking about Nick Fuentes. So all of a sudden I got this idea for a video. Who is more masculine, me or Nick Fuentes? All right, that was the initial thought, but it didn't take long for me to just get disgusted with the idea, really, because I started thinking about having to actually ask that question, and I started thinking about what is masculinity, and that's really what this video is going to be about. I'm not going to ask, who's more, because I think that's a pointless question, really. But let me tell you guys a little more what I was thinking. So that was the idea that just came into my mind. But right off the bat, when I thought about that, I felt uneasy. Because first of all, I think part of masculinity, being a man, if there is such a thing, is knowing yourself, being confident in yourself. And, if you're confident, you would never ask that question. And I started thinking deeper about what is masculinity. The fact that I'm 6'3", I don't know how tall Nick Fuentes is. Does that make me masculine? It shouldn't. Say a beard, a big full beard, would that make somebody masculine? And I started thinking about it more. And really, masculinity is just a shallow judgment of perceived attractiveness to other people. It's like, what if I did a video asking, who's more handsome, me or Nick Fuentes, or me or Christian Bale? As soon as I started thinking about it, I was like, well, first of all, any of the answers, I wouldn't even want to read any of the responses. Because first of all, the responses wouldn't really matter to me. I know who I am, so what would be the point in asking the question? And then even more than that, I think the answers would kind of make me feel worse or make me feel uncomfortable or angry even. Say somebody said, no, Nick Fuentes is more masculine than I am. Of course, it wouldn't even matter to me. It would be pointless because I know who I am. I know it doesn't even matter if I come across masculine or not. I'll talk about what I think is masculine in a second. If somebody said, yes, Daryl, you are more masculine than Nick Fuentes, I'd feel very uncomfortable. I feel like why should am I asking other people to validate my, my X and Y chromosomes, my masculinity? That's pathetic. That's embarrassing. So then I started thinking about what's masculine, what's being a man to me? I started thinking about that. So I said, it depends. If you got married, it would mean being a good husband, being faithful and honest, and providing as much as you can for your spouse, and vice versa. If you were married and had kids, it would be providing that would be important. Be manliness or stepping up or being a man would be being able to provide a good, loving home for your spouse and your children. In my case, and I think I made a good decision. I regret not having kids sometimes, but I knew that I couldn't even really take care of myself, and I think it was a wise choice. if I had had kids, inevitably, I think I would have ruined somebody else's life. But that's neither here nor there. But I really started thinking about it. What is masculinity, and does it even really matter? It's just, like I said, it's somebody's perceived judgment of, to some people, to some women, a beard might be masculine. I'm part Native American. I can't grow a beard. I've never had any chest hair either. I might get a few hairs here and none here. Some women would prefer a smooth chest. Is that masculine? A lot of women would probably say no. They probably think that a hairy, but that's nothing that I can control either, though. Those are just traits you're born with. So judging somebody, are you going to judge somebody's character on just, because I'm 6'3", that all of a sudden makes me this much better or this much more manly than somebody else? That's ridiculous. It's more about being just a good person, a stand-up, honest, empathetic person, a stand-up man. But I started thinking about my view of women. I got to be honest with you guys. Do I want a feminine woman? And the answer would be yes. So I'm as guilty of this as the people as what I'm talking about. If a woman had very short hair, very broad shoulders, very small breasts, a more more masculine figure, I guess. I wouldn't find. Honestly, I gotta be honest with you guys. I wouldn't be as attracted to it. I'm more attracted to long hair. I think that's just in our nature. But does that make her more feminine? It's just my perceived attraction, how I perceive her attractiveness. It doesn't make her more of a woman, no matter what I think, no matter how she looks. Then I started thinking about this. What about, cooking or sewing? That matters very little to me. To me, that doesn't make a woman. I've traded household chores before in my relationships. Just like, do I need to cut wood and go hunting to make me masculine? I don't think so. I don't think so. Those are, but then, like I said, then again, I fall into the trap myself a little bit. With me, the way a woman looks, there's a certain female look that's more attractive to me, but not as far as her actions. Her actions don't mean, as long as a woman is honest, that's what matters to me. If she can sew or cook, I think any man that can't feed himself. This was on Duck Dynasty yesterday. I saw the patriarch of Duck Dynasty talking about starving if his woman couldn't cook, and that is the most pathetic thing I think I've ever heard in my life. If a man can't cook a meal for himself, he's no man. So that's, I think being able to cook is manly, because you're being able to provide for yourself. If you can't provide a meal for yourself, are you really a man? So I don't know. So I decided not. I thought it would be incredibly shallow and embarrassing to sit here and ask viewers, am I more masculine than Nick Fuentes? And the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter. It would be a disingenuous question, because I really wouldn't care what the responses are. It wouldn't make any difference to me. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good Saturday.